Chunky Mike is a banded snouted cobra from South Africa. And I call him Chunky Mike because, well, he's a little bit overweight. I don't know how you guys experienced summer, but here we had a 90-day heat wave. It was just excessive heat that was unrelenting. And the snakes get hot, and when they get hot, they get hungry. So I figured with the excessive summer that we were having, we were going to have an excessively cold winter. And I figured, well, get as much calories into the snakes before winter comes, so that if it gets really cold, they'll have the energy to survive, and then we end up with a beautiful, balmy, And so he's quite overweight, and he needs to lose some weight. And Mike is a little cranky because he likes to eat well. And I haven't fed him in 3 weeks. Now, not feeding him in 3 weeks is like you and me skipping breakfast. Okay, so a snake this size could live for about 6 or 7 months without food. But I do need to get him to lose some weight. Now, snouted cobras you find on the Highveld. You find them in KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, Mpumalanga. And there's places in Africa where if you're at a sugarcane field, you can't throw a brick in a sugarcane field without it landing close to them. The farmers there actively encourage the cobras and the mambas because they control the rodent populations. Now, the snouted cobra is now the second largest species of cobra in the world. I don't know if any of you heard about this, but last year or the beginning of this year, they reclassified the Indian king cobra. It is no longer a member of the cobra family. It is now a mono-specific species of snake. And the reason they did this is because the Indian king cobra exclusively feeds on other snakes, where every other species of cobra will eat snakes, but also eat pretty much anything they can swallow. So scientists have now reclassified the Indian king cobra. It is no longer a member of the cobra family. So the biggest cobra in the world now officially is the African cross cobra. The snouted cobra is the second biggest, and they get big. This one here is not that big. He can get, I've seen females almost twice as long, and I've seen them about that big. So snouted cobras get huge. Now here's the banded one. The normal color for a snouted cobra is the dark colored band. And you can see he's not standing up, he's not spreading a hood, he's spreading his hood on the ground because the floor's nice and warm, and because he loves getting the heat from the sun. It's just nice getting outside a little and catching some sunlight. The snouted cobra is one of the deadliest snakes in Africa. A bite from a snake this big, it will comfortably kill a half-ton buffalo. Okay, and if you get bitten by a snake like this in a serious bite, they can inject enough venom to kill 10 people. Now there's something called an LD50. Okay, is the standard by which the potency of snake venoms are measured. If you take, the cobras are not aggressive. Okay, these snakes, they like rocky outcrops, they like grass fields, they don't want to be seen. So if you're living on a plot or you're living on a farm and you have them, you might see one every year, even though there might be 100 of them there. These guys hang around and they eat rats, mice, birds, lizards, frogs, toads, other snouted cobras, and puff adder. Now, puff adder is one of their favorite meals. This snake is genetically immune to the venom of puff adders, and as far as we know, they're genetically immune to any type of snake venom. So there's these beautiful videos, if you can find them in the Kruger Park, where snouted cobras fight puff adders. Now, puff adder can strike 4 times a second. Snouted cobras nowhere that fast, but they beat them with strategy. The cobra stands up and spreads a very impressive hood. The puff adder focuses on the hood. So if the cobra leans in, and as the puff adder strikes, it pulls back so the bite misses it by a centimeter. And it keeps taunting the puff adder, and after the 3rd or 4th strike, you can see the puff adder starting to get exhausted. The strikes are slowing down dramatically. And when the snouted cobra realizes that the puff adder is slowing down, as the puff adder strikes, it pulls back. And as the puff adder pulls back, it leans in, bites it, and just waits 15 seconds. Paralysis sets in, and then they have a meal. So there's these brilliant videos that you can find of snouted cobras in the Kruger Park killing